And we are back. Gmac Winnie coming at you with another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast, season 4 debut. Big fella, let's get dangerous.
Bringing in season 4, licking the lips, LL Cool J style.
Oh, well, that's a personal thing between you. This motherfucker licks his lips so many times, I always call him LL.
I don't know, yeah. I don't know. He's fucking constantly dehydrated. Those things are the size of my fucking inner tube. But what is good?
I feel good to be back.
Yeah, me too.
Feels great to be back.
Fuck yeah.
It didn't feel good last night when I'm dragging the table, all the stuff back out to put back up. It was nice having, like the space for a little while,
right.
And not for nothing, I got used to I was doing a lot of writing during the time off.
Okay.
And I moved the podcasting, desk and whatnot into my bedroom as like a office.
Oh, okay.
So I was enjoying having that in there to the point that like if I could get another, I don't need one, but if I could get another one, I'd put one in there.
A little desk for yourself in there. That's
cool. Yeah, not bad.
What are you writing?
You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
And the next segment?
No. Well, you'll see. Some of that's part of what we got going on.
Yo, a lot of ground to cover, man. It's
it was prior to Christmas and all that, so.
Yeah, last time I recorded, I had no voice. Just coming back off of being sick, and here we are in the middle of fucking January.
Literally the midpoint.
Yes. A lot has transpired. Going to be a good episode today.
It is. And I think when you're excited to be back, you get a different energy level. You're ready to go.
Yep. Listen, big kudos to you. The best of episodes popped us back in the top 200.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Last 2 days, we're back in the top for the improv in the U.S. for Apple. So people are loving our shit even when we're not doing it live. But now we're back with season 4.
Yeah, and what was nice about that was I listened to it after I just put it out. I cut it all together. And Audacity is the fucking bane of my existence. But I listened to it, and you get back to you do so many of these things, you forget some of the funnier parts.
Right.
And I was belly laughing at one of your crime and punishments. I was fucking belly laughing on the way to work. I'm like all over the road laughing so hard. So it was enjoyable to kind of have a flashback. Did you happen to see our Instagram where it came out with all the stats for what we did from last year?
Pretty awesome.
It was pretty wild. I'll touch on them quick, just a couple that I have. There we go. Giggity. Number one, we guessed. We were guessing. Remember our last time we sat down and recorded?
Right.
Joey, Valance, and Bray were the number one.
Yep.
Ranked one.
We got that right.
Yep, we had that right. TJ was second. Pat Metters was third. Eric Jensen was fourth. And Bree and Tiff, False Confidence, were fifth. 60 countries last year listened to us. Number one was United States, 2 Germany, 3 Australia, 4 Canada, and 5 Indonesia.
Indonesia,
which is crazy, right? In the top 5,
The number that threw me, I don't know if you had it on there, was the total minutes listened.
Yeah, it was some substantial
43,000
minutes listened.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, that means people, and then if you divide it by the 60 episodes that there were,
people are listening to the show.
Right? So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, and I like that Buzzsprout broke it down for us like that. Now,
awesome.
Apple Podcasts is different. They have different measurements. So, and then you got to figure what we're doing on the live version of it.
Right, and that's not, again, there's so many different apps out there that it's damn near impossible to track everything.
Right.
But we're getting there. We're getting out there. We're out there, so which is great.
Yep. It feels good. I'm glad to be back. I'm ready to roll. We got a full show, so we might as well get rolling.
All right.
This week's top 5. Do top 5 2023 predictions. So this is something we'll be able to kind of track as the year goes on.
Before we get into the actual what they are, how did you see yourself doing this? I had a couple personal and a couple kind of out there in the world type stuff.
I just kind of thought like what's going to happen this year and just went with it.
Okay.
Whether it's personal, I'm sure to some degree.
Yep.
You want to go first?
I'll start it off.
Right.
Number 5, the Jets finally get it right in free agency, and they're planning to spend big money and land a quarterback and get to the second round of the playoffs next year.
Well, I mean, that's like a hope. That's a big fucking.
It is.
That's a big prediction.
It is.
But technically, it won't be till 2025.
Right. Which, well, to get into the playoffs, we'll know.
Yeah.
By the end of the year. But I think their commitment to spend is the first time they've ever gone out there and said, listen, we're going to do it. We need to.
Get a veteran quarterback.
Right.
Just to hold the fort down.
Yep.
They're an organization that's fucked up way too many quarterbacks.
Every chance they get.
Just get a bona fide guy.
Right.
Bring him in. Let him have 3-4 years. And then go get another bona fide guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fuck development because they've never gotten it right.
Never gotten it right. All right. My number 5. Number 5. 2 former UFC champions will reclaim gold in 2024.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer that probably 2 former. There's a lot of former champions that are still fighting.
Right.
I think John Jones will be the first one to reclaim gold in March. He comes out as a heavyweight for the first time.
And now that title's vacated.
It's been vacated, so he's fighting the number 1 contender for it. And then, but throughout the year, McGregor's supposed to make a comeback. I'm not saying yes or no, but okay. I think 2 former UFC champions will reclaim gold this year.
All right.
That's my number 5.
All right. Number 4. Gmac and Winnie will combine to lose over 100 pounds this year.
That's a big fucking task. That's a tall task, buddy.
I say I'll go with a split of 60-40. I'm going to lose 60. You're going to lose 40. That's my low end for me. But I think we're going to do it.
I'd like to lose the 100.
That's
healthy, not like dying of some kind of
right.
Fight,
But I think we've both talked about making that commitment. And we need to. We're not spring chickens anymore.
No, and I think what I think would honestly be an asset to us would be to have a diet company sponsor us.
Right.
So we could be every week you would see it.
Yeah. Yeah, we could give weekly tracking.
I gotta get my wheel chuck in here.
So
I started holding on the table. All right, my number 4. Social media loses millions of people from its apps this year. I think people are getting tired of social media a little bit. They don't want to be on it. A lot of people are weaning themselves off of Facebook and Instagram. They'll still TikTok, but you're not putting your whole life out there. I think people are I think it's kind of run its course and people are understanding how bad it really is.
The negativity that contributes to it. Yeah, I think what this stuff was created for way back with MySpace was so you could communicate with friends and family across the country. And
former classmates.
And shrink the world so you still had your group, your friends, your family.
Right. It wasn't made for trolls.
It's taken a left turn.
Right.
And I could totally see that happening.
Quite literally a left turn.
Yeah, big time. All right, yeah, I agree with that totally. My number 3, the Outlaw Blitz footprint growth continues.
I have that on my list in another spot. We can talk about it then.
Okay.
My number 3, the Yankees continue the current model and make it 14 years without a World Series.
Hard to disagree. They did absolutely jack shit in the offseason.
They went after power hitters with no average.
And
they did get a pitcher. But they don't have a reliever.
Right.
And if they're going to stay with the same model of we could talk about that another day. I think there's a model out there right now that I believe the Cowboys buy into it, and I believe the Yankees definitely buy into it, where it's more of an entertainment than it is a winning franchise.
Right.
They'll sell the seats because of who they are,
and they do enough,
and they're successful enough to keep people coming back, but they're never going to win with the models that they have.
Correct. Now, what's sad about that is they have the infrastructure and the players in the minors right now to redo it the right way, and they will fuck it up.
Yeah.
So
it's a personality thing.
It really is. Number 2, and this probably hinges a lot more on you than me. First ever international Outlaw Blitz recorded.
Yeah, well, it will happen.
Yeah.
There's a month in England, so it will happen.
That's what I'm saying. I'll have to come here and learn how to run the controls.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, and it'll be, I mean, the internet part of it won't be a problem. It'll be the phone part of it or whatever the deal is. So,
Yeah.
or yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Hopefully by then, maybe we got it where we can just do it through the internet and it's all sounded good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
My number 2, the USA will have a scandal that leads to a new president.
Wow. I mean, it's in the making already.
Right, like a lot of it.
You have FBI probes going down on the current and the last president.
Right.
So it's not far-fetched.
And I think it might be the way that I personally feel, and I don't want to get sidetracked into that stuff, but I personally feel his own people set him up on this one.
Sure.
The current president.
I agree.
Because I don't think they want him to run again.
No.
And I think they know if he, he reserves the right as the president to run.
Right. The incumbent always.
Almost, So I almost think they kind of, hey, go your separate way. And I have a feeling that happens during this year.
We'll see. It would be.
They kind of send him on his way as a party. Hey, this, almost like how Nixon had to resign.
Right.
You're going to resign, and we're going to let her run and then we're
going to move on.
We're going to move on.
Yeah, I hear you. My number 1 is a personal one. Big Guy goes to Graceland.
Really?
Yeah.
You planning it?
I have dates in mind. Events this week with the passing of Lisa Marie. Kind of brought it back to the forefront. And yeah, I think I have it. I think I have the weekend planned out in May.
Yeah.
To go down. Yeah.
Just for the weekend?
I think I have off Thursday. I think I have off Friday,
like
Saturday,
5
Sunday,
days?
Monday. I have a 5-day weekend, I think.
Oh, nice.
So
Good for you.
I think I'm gonna make it happen this year.
Cool. And my number one is, it can be looked at as great, and it can or the other way. Outlaw Blitz either makes it big or collapses completely by the end of the year.
Oh.
I think this is just, we've done it long enough that this is kind of the make or break time. We're 120 episodes in, 120 episodes ish. That's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but
Right.
We did it every single week last year.
We did.
For the year 2022, 52 weeks. There was no breaks.
Right.
None. We recorded, we covered, we did this. We've made very big jumps in terms of, popularity, in terms of listenership. The thing we still lack, and I think it's more our age, is we lack a social media. We lack promotion.
We need a guru.
Right,
We
and
really
when
do.
you get the promotion, then you get a little bit of money coming, and when the money comes, then the production value goes up a little bit.
Right.
And these are the things that we're getting. And I think getting back, as we saw with our top 5 from last year list, we need those interviews.
Right.
Like, what we do was awesome and fun.
Yeah.
But the interviews need there. When we have the ability, based on what we do for a living, to talk to anyone.
True.
And to get information out of people, and to bring people, to disarm people, to egg on people. We have, you know what I mean? We have that ability. So to see through bullshit and call it what it is.
Right.
And that makes us good interviewers.
It does.
So realistically, that's probably where we should be turning, is more of those. But I never want to get rid of this.
No.
I never want to get rid of this format of it.
Right.
But I think we need to add a lot more.
In addition to,
Mhm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we can pump out, and we've talked one a month, but realistically, 12 to 24 interviews this year would definitely be a big bonus to the show. The quality of the interview, whether it is our buddy,
right,
or a bona fide superstar,
Mhm.
has always been there.
Always been there.
So I think that you're right. I think that's what carries us to the next level.
Like, I don't know that there's a single interview that we didn't get a moment from, that people opened up to us in a way that stories you've never heard.
Right. Because we've made a concerted effort to not do cookie cutter bullshit.
Right.
You could go on and hear 5 Stephen Piercy interviews, and then hear ours, and ours is completely different than the other 5.
100%.
And I think that's what makes us good.
Tracy Wells, same thing, told us she got beat up in school. I
Yep.
mean, we could go on and on. But the reality is the way things go right now, like, I don't know, you take whatever scandal that there is right now, and if that person comes on this show, I'm not talking to you about the scandal.
Right.
We're going to talk about everything that led other than that too. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everybody knows that part of it. Who knows the other parts?
Exactly.
You know. So.
Yep, I agree.
So it was a pretty good top 5. Now we can. Here's the thing.
Now we got goals.
Next year we can sit there and look back and go, how much of this was right and how much of it was wrong.
Right.
Or next year, Outlaw Blitz is done and there's no fucking
there's no top 5
completely and there's no top 5.
I don't foresee that.
I don't either.
But it comes down to we just got to do it.
Right. It comes down to we've done this long enough. It's time to shoot.
We've got this
or sizzle.
We've got this down.
Right.
And we can always improve, and we will.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's like you said, bringing it to that next level.
Right, and a lot of it's production value and the time and energy to get the sizzle reels out, the different things, the cut ups to draw people in. You know what I mean?
If people, and our friends do know, but if the average listener doesn't know us personally, knew who we are, what we do outside of here, they'd be like, holy fuck, it's even more amazing because we're just two guys that.
If we could ever talk about what we do, we'd be the number one.
Right.
We'd not have one number one. We
would be in the running.
We'd be way up there.
Hell yeah, we would.
We would. All right. So let's move along. All right. This week's top 5 crazy questions via Gmac.
All right.
Number 1, if animals could talk, what animal would be the most boring?
Oh, man. Probably the sloth.
I think that motherfucker's funny.
He
talks like Tommy Chong. What's up, man?
Just so fucking...
Or like Jim Brewer.
I mean, I say that because they're the slowest fucking creature on the earth, but I guess the sloth, I think... do you think a turtle would be exciting?
Yeah, why not? Another one takes one day at a time, man.
But their view is so low.
See, I was going the other direction. How about a lion? You'd be sick of hearing how he was it would be the most boring fucking thing. Oh, you're the king of the fucking jungle. You're so great. That's all we hear every day.
I guarantee you if a lion could talk, he'd be a Giants fan.
Yeah. Yeah, touche. May not be wrong. So what are you saying?
I'll stick with mine. I'll stick with sloth. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, is it better to know few people really well or a ton of people a little bit?
It really depends. I think in what we do here, knowing a lot of people a little bit can get you a lot further.
I think in life in general, it probably could.
Right, but as far as
unless you knew the right few people really well.
Right. But if you want to eliminate the bullshit, it's knowing a few people very well.
I think that almost comes down to a class, a culture, social class.
Yeah.
Because I think the run of the mill, every middle class, the upper middle class person needs a lot of people.
Right.
And I think the upper class of
only a couple,
only a few.
Listen, Joey Coco
Diaz.
Joey Diaz says it best. 4 motherfuckers could take over the world.
Yeah, give me 4 motherfuckers, real motherfuckers.
And he's right.
Yeah,
he's absolutely right.
They are.
So
yeah.
I'm going to say it's situational. It's depending upon what you want to do in your personal life. Probably the fewer the better, but for a profession, for what we're trying to do,
to have your hands in a lot of things.
Right.
Ryan Seacrest.
Jeez,
you know what I mean?
No shit.
All right, number 3. If you wrote an autobiography, how would you divide the chapters, your life chapters?
Oh, okay.
Well, you'd have the first part of your life with your parents. That'd probably be a chapter, right?
I would probably be birth to 8. And then
why 8 though? Is there something at 8 that changed?
Yeah, I saw as you get older. I think you
start to understand a little clearer.
Yeah, and I saw how kind of dysfunctional my parents' relationship was.
Right.
So from 8 to 16 would be its own chapter because that's when
that divorced. 1 year of what.
Right.
Shit. That's where you got into Elvis. The whole.
Right. And that's when they divorced, and then 17 and 18 will also be its own year, its own chapter.
Yep.
and then probably 19 to 32, and then 32 to the present.
So what would it be, like 8 chapters ish
Yeah, more or less.
for up to now?
Up to now, yeah.
That's pretty. I mean, it's pretty accurate. You know what I mean? I mean, for how your life breaks down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I would probably have something that's like childhood.
Yeah.
You know, till my sisters were both married and left, and then living as basically an only child. Yeah, I had sisters, but they were gone. And my sisters are 10 and 12 years older than me, and you are an only child.
Right.
So then, by the time I was 11, like all them years, I was just by myself.
Right.
And figuring that out through the 80s and the 90s. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I would probably go like till I was 11. Then I would go like whatever's left of the 80s. That'd be a chapter. The 90s would be a chapter. My racing life would be a chapter.
Yeah, that would have.
You know what I mean? And then onward to early 20s, and then meeting my ex-wife. That would be its own chapter. Like that encompassed that. Right through the downfall.
Yeah.
And then from there, probably through the end of the Purple Rain era.
Yeah.
And then from there to now.
Right. And I think I would say we say 8, but like you would have your own chapter. It would be in our coaching years.
Right. Yeah.
Blaze
well, that
would have his own chapter. Right. You know, the boys would have their own chapters.
Right, but when you break it down,
if you're
like
break
easy,
it down, yeah, you got a timeline. So I think that's what it would be.
It's crazy when you think about it. You
could
really write a book about it.
Totally could.
All right, number 4. Does modern life give us more freedom or less freedom than in the past?
Less.
I think so too.
You're too accessible.
You're too accessible, and right, like Jerry Seinfeld years ago had a bit about it, where he said something to the effect of, how'd it go? He said, "Oh, when you're in the bathroom, or he's in the shower, like, hey, he's in the shower.
Yeah.
Well, I can't get to him. No, he's on that other side of that clear little piece of plastic. I can see him, but I can't get to him.
Right.
You know, like you're unobtainable. Like once they took, and we talked about this in the past. Once they took the tether off the phone, you got tethered to it. When it was on the wall, you didn't. You know what I mean?
Totally.
You'd go out. That's the only way they could reach you. Now they can reach you anywhere. It's.
How many times have you gone out and had your evening fucked up because of a text message?
Yep.
Where before you got to enjoy that evening and dealt with shit later on.
Right. You came home, then you hear the message or whatever,
right.
or the aggravation or the complaint or the whatever.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
So, but definitely, I think it's.
I think there's a lot less freedom now than in the past.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and number 5, what is the weirdest thing you've seen in someone else's home?
Huh. I don't know. That's.
Somebody's mother-in-law naked.
Yeah, that would be fucking terrible.
No, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know.
We were stealing candy. You know the story.
I do?
Yeah, when they lived up in Olive Bridge.
Oh, yes.
We went over to steal the candy.
Yes,
Be careful, my mom sleeps naked.
That's right.
He's like, we're just going to get the candy.
That's right.
And we break in to get the candy because they were saving it up for whatever Easter baskets.
Yeah.
And we get in and the fucking parrot goes, "Hey, George." And I go, "How the fuck's this bird know my name?" And it was the bird's name, but that's all he could say. And then she came out starkers right to her. We're like, what the fuck?
Boy. Man, I wish I had an exciting answer for this. I don't.
You never seen something you're like, what the fuck is that in somebody's house?
Not really. I mean,
nothing.
Things that stick out as odd.
I mean, have you ever been in there and you seen like cocaine on the table and you're like, what the fuck?
No. Okay. A buddy we went to high school with, haven't talked to him forever. We were out of school already. I'm pretty sure I was either married or whatever, but I ran into him. He's like, "Hey, stop by." I went upstairs to his room. We're chitting, just sitting there bullshitting and whatnot. And all of a sudden, a fucking freezer bag jam-packed with bud comes flying my way. I've never, at that point, had ever seen marijuana in my life.
Right.
and then that quantity. I'm like,
Right.
what the fuck is this? And what are you doing with it?
Off air, I'm going to take a guess at who it was.
Double D.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and no, it's not Danny Douglas.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that would probably be the shock value thing, yeah. That, for me.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, especially when you don't do it, when you're not
Right.
used to it, yeah.
Yeah, for the handful of times I've smoked in my life, and it was after that, yeah, that was definitely shocking.
Yeah, not bad. Made you think a little bit.
Yeah, I love the book one. Is great. I love it.
All right, let's move along. You had a very particular. You insisted upon this segment. Did you not?
On
this one. All right, crime and punishment. This is one of our favorite. This is one of our favorite segments that we do every year. And you chose the New Year's resolution.
Yeah,
segment.
because every fucking year, somebody's got some grandiose stuff, and it's like, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
Yeah, no one cares about your bullshit.
Right. So,
you going to go first, or am I going to
I
go
will
first?
gladly start it off.
Okay.
People who say "New Year, New Me," tied up over a fire and a flame.
That's my number one too. Say that again. Tied up over
a fire and have a flame raised up to the genitals.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mine exactly. Crime. New year, new me. Punishment, because I always think people they're going to lose weight, right?
Right.
And they're going to exercise. Immediately clubbed over the head, tied to a chair, and force fed 10 boxes of Krispy Kreme.
Here, asshole. Here's not a good start.
Yeah. Here's fucking diabetes in a box.
Wilford Brimley's at your door now. Yep. Oh, shit. Number 2. People who obnoxiously quit something and become the crusader for it. New Year's, I'm going to quit smoking.
Yep.
Now they're the fucking anti-Christ to anything with tobacco.
Yeah.
That's terrible. It's going to kill you. You just smoked fucking non-filter Lucky Strikes for 35 years.
Yeah, and now you're worried about me having a fucking dip in my lip.
Yeah, their fingertips are glued to their lips, and their eye wish whipped down an icy hill.
Yeah, you're fucked.
You're not putting your hands out.
No, you're not.
Nope. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that head's getting hit. You're either falling on your head or your face.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
All right, mine. Crime. All new workout gear and obnoxious gym attire.
Oh, you see it too.
Because they're going to go to the gym. They got all brand new shit. Here I go. I'm going to go. Punishment. The gym rats use warm-up bands to 4-point you to the squat rack and repeatedly drop dumbbells on your toes.
Oh, God. And just to go up in weight as they go?
Yeah.
Ooh.
5 pound. Cling. 10 pound. Playing.
Up to the 50.
All the way up.
Smash.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, God. Let's see. People who carry over the previous year's bullshit. So it's New Year, but they're still fucking mired in the past.
Yep.
Waterboarded with deer piss. It stinks. It's
bad. Fucking so bad.
They will keep their mouth shut after that.
Yeah, they would. People who are always broke, swearing they won't spend money as freely anymore.
Right.
Punishment. Tranquilizer dart to the neck, brought to Vegas, and empty your bank account on cocaine, booze, hookers, and VHS tapes. There has to be some dumb fucking thing.
VHS tape.
You got like a fucking storage locker full of VHS tapes. And then you wake up and you're like, what the fuck? Where'd all my money go?
I get the coke and the hookers, but why VHS tapes?
Yeah. Just because.
Just because. People who shit on your earnest desire to better yourself.
Yep.
Rancid shit on a cookie sheet, put into the oven at 450 and left to bake all day while they're at work.
Shit. Yeah. Bum shit.
Straight bum turd on the cookie sheet. Right in their oven at 450.
That is awesome.
And it just bakes.
Oh, that is fucking terrible, bro.
Disgusting.
That is terrible. All right. Number 4. Crime. People who want to stop procrastinating. Punishment. I'll get to it soon.
I like it. It's the Brian and Stewie one.
Yeah.
The payback.
Yep.
That's good. Number 5, people who vow to do shit you know they'll never do. Oh, it's a new year. I'm going to take up horseback riding this year. I'm buying a boat this year.
Right.
one of them horse sleeves are held up to their mouths and their throat fucked by a horny steed.
Oh my god. Yeah, you need like a super like guy that wants to go like 10 times a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the biggest fucking horse it's
Yep.
jacked.
That is awesome.
So that's where we're at. What's your number 5?
My number 5. Crime. Saying you're going to quit smoking while smoking occasionally. Oh, I'm quitting.
Doesn't work.
I went from 10 cigarettes to 8.
That's not quitting.
Punishment. Your head gets stuffed into a vice, mouth wide open, and my co-host eats bad Chinese food and just rips ass and shits in your mouth.
Oh, man, I could do it, too.
All day. Now you want to inhale cigarette smoke and you're quitting?
Go ahead.
Now you're going to inhale Highland's ass.
I just have 4 plates of fucking hibachi.
Bad lo mein.
What was it? Fucking buffet sushi.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, gas station sushi.
Gas station sushi.
They were pretty good.
People would definitely rethink it if this was real punishment shit.
Yep. All right, let's move right along. We're cruising.
We are cruising.
All right, Steel Cage Showdown. Two items enter, and one leaves. It's a fictional steel cage fight to the death.
Yes.
We have to say that because it's fictional, because we've had sharks in there. We've had the Smurfs versus some other cartoon faction.
Yep.
So this week we're doing the late night edition.
All right.
The lid lifter, kicking it off. Number 1, Jimmy Fallon versus Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Fallon.
Why?
Because he's Jimmy Fallon. Because he's from Saugerties.
He's from Saugerties. Fuck that pretentious dick Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Who was fat guy from the Man Show. Fuck him.
Right. Jimmy's just funny. He's engaging. He can do.
Yeah, but he's got to kill him.
Right. That's fine.
Like, how's he going to get it done?
Oh, man.
I think he's a little bit more athletic.
He is.
Like, he can dance really. He's a dancer.
He might be a couple years younger.
And he's probably in better shape.
Definitely in better shape. I think he outlasts him.
Yeah.
Listen, he grew up in the Heights playing tackle football just like we did.
Yeah.
So
he's a little more athletic,
right,
I would think.
He can handle his own. I have a feeling Jimmy's going to pull one out.
Me too. I think when it came down to him, the inner Sawyer in him would fucking...
Damn right. What's the finishing move, though? I think he's going with the Seagal.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. With an impression, too, at the end.
Nah. I think he does the Miyagi. Wrong. And just drops him.
All right. Either way, he's winning this.
I do, too.
He does a great Mickey Goldmill, too, so he could psych
He
himself up
does.
to be Rocky.
He'll put the bagel, just spike the bagel.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, number 2. Graham Norton versus James Corden.
I fucking hate Graham Norton.
I love him. I think he's
really?
awesome. I think his show's fun.
I don't know the other guy, though.
James Corden, Carpool Karaoke.
Oh, all right.
I'm going James Corden. Graham Norton is very tiny man.
Okay.
He's not big. James Corden's got a little bit of beef to him.
Right.
And I don't know, man. I just think he's one of them guys that could be a motherfucker if you really crossed him.
And I could see Norton saying some real sly shit and just getting fucked up.
Yeah, but they're in a cage. You're there to die. It's one of you's coming out, one is not.
Right, and I don't think...
And I think Corden, he's got kids. You know what I mean? And like I said, I think he's got the size on him. I think he's the bigger man. So I would go James Corden.
Okay. I just can't stand Graham Norton.
Really?
Yeah.
I think his show's funny.
I'm not a fan. I don't know what it is.
Wow. All right, number 3. This is a throwback fight.
Okay.
And there's bad blood here. Jay Leno versus David Letterman.
Oh, there is bad blood. Man.
Letterman's probably got the reach. Leno's got the weight. Leno's got a chin you can touch.
That's what I'm saying, though. He's got that big-ass chin. That's made of glass. He's done.
Yeah, but if it's not...
Dave... Leno comes across as, I don't know, too pretentious. I think Letterman would get him.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, but see, Leno works on cars and shit, so he's got strong forearms. because he's going to be wrenching on stuff. His hands are probably a lot tougher.
I think Letterman's just got a little more.
And Jay Leno, I've never seen Letterman in like jeans. Jay Leno's like jeans and a t-shirt, jeans and a, he's like a jeans guy.
Letterman's got a big white beard now. He's kind of
Yeah, but I'm saying like even in their prime.
Yeah, oh man, I
think we're gonna be opposites on this one. I'm gonna go Leno.
I'm gonna go Letterman.
I think Leno just because he's more rugged.
He did team with Diamond Dallas Page against Hulk
Did
Hogan.
he?
Yeah. Against Hogan and was it Hogan and Rodman against Leno and DDP? I think it was.
With Carl Malone.
Oh, Malone did it too, but yeah. Yep.
Cool. All right, number 4, Regis and Kelly versus Hoda and Kathy Lee. I know who I want to win, Regis and Kelly. I can't stand Kathy Lee, and who the fuck's name is Hoda?
She has no vowels in her life. Not just have no
Hoda Khattab or something.
Hoda Kotb.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, no. Oh man, I think I just said Regis and Kelly.
Yeah,
not Regis and Kathy Lee.
No, because I want him to fight Kelly.
Then I just want Hoda.
I want him to fight Kathy Lee.
I want Hoda and Regis to turn on Kathy Lee.
Yeah,
just kill her. Yeah, Regis and Kelly for sure.
Yeah, Regis. People forget, like in the late 70s, early 80s. Regis was like what was it? Jack LaLanne was a guy.
Yeah,
Regis was one of them guys. That's how he got into TV. He used to do like before it became popular. He used to do like the working out on. Yeah. Like the aerobics on TV.
Not to mention, Kelly's got to be 30 years younger
than everybody.
Yeah, and would just smack the shit.
Well, no, she's probably our age.
Maybe a little bit older.
Yeah,
but Kathy Lee's gonna be pushing fucking 75.
I bet you Kelly's tiny though.
She is
like 4'10", 90 pounds.
She's a Spitfire though.
Yeah,
I think she'll fuck her up.
Spider monkey.
Yeah, all over.
All right, and the main event, the big one. The final fucking fight. The View, the crew from The View versus Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, and Joey Coco Diaz.
Not even a competition.
Like you said earlier, give me 4 motherfuckers.
That's it. And I hope they take their time and pick them apart.
That's what I think. I think it's going to be a pack of wolves just picking apart wounded ducks.
Yeah. I'll give Barbara a pass. She just passed away. But the other ones, I fucking hate them all.
Yeah.
Except for Joy Behar. Now, she's a bitch, too. But what's...
Oh, I can't stand Joe Behar.
Do you remember what the hell movie was that? The Longest Yard? Where the dude had I'm not leaving till I watch Joy Behar. And he turns the fucking TV off on him. But I hate them all.
Yeah.
Just opinionated.
Just cackling. And not for nothing, that group of guys, and the reason I went to that group of guys, for no other reason than I think they're the male version.
But the likable version.
But that's what I'm saying. No, what I'm getting at is for the way that they come out, The View comes out and shits on men.
Right.
And shits on the women's rights for this and it's so far leaning left and this and that. I think these dudes are like, we don't give a fuck. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Shut up and laugh. Like shit, they laugh at people like that.
Right.
Like they're the Karens and these guys are the guys that go, shut up, Karen.
Yeah.
And I think they're the polar opposites, but this is the male version. Like the guys that don't want to hear that bullshit.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
They win.
They win.
They totally win.
Oh, of course they win, but I'm just saying. How? I want to see at least one Joey Diaz get like Irish whipped, like Atlantic City splash off of one of them.
I want to see like the slow motion of one of their faces being smushed off of Bert Kreischer's sweaty chest.
Yeah. And then Rogan just deliver a head kick.
Oh, straight up. Like
because he can kick like this.
Yeah. UFC, just take their head off.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yep.
That would draw so much money if that was on pay-per-view.
Oh my God, dude. It's so much money.
Yeah. And I think enough people hate them that they would want to see it.
Yeah.
So
it's not behind me.
There it is.
I'm like, something feels weird here. No, they're good. I'm getting used to them.
That was good, man. That was
a fun steel case showdown.
Now,
what?
Could you bring in? I'm gonna throw an old time one for you.
Okay. Late night edition though.
Yeah.
Well, TV talk show edition is what we did. Yeah.
Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And Ed Sullivan.
Just Ed is way bigger.
He's a monster. That's a big man.
Yeah. And I think he was the calm dude at the end.
Right.
That when shit got out of hand, he protected Johnny.
Yeah. I
when
think
they'd go
Ed
out
Sullivan,
drinking or whatnot.
Ed Sullivan would fuck people up.
Yeah.
He's a big man.
Big dude. And he's an Irish guy. Look how Sullivan. Yeah.
There you go. So,
hands down, that's a win.
I think Johnny just taps out. He doesn't even know how to fight him.
Yeah, he doesn't get in the cage. He's going to be like that guy you push in and he just pisses all over himself.
He opens the door, rolls Ed McMahon in, and shuts the cage door quick.
Yeah.
So, cool, man.
All right, buddy. Let's move right along to your favorite segment. All right, over and under. First one of 2023.
All right.
Number 1, Meatloaf, the food.
Way underrated.
Underrated.
Love Meatloaf.
I just made one for the first time just the other night.
And
that's what made me, I liked it. I get it all done. I throw it in the oven and I go, fuck, I forgot the breadcrumbs.
Now, are you a brown gravy or a ketchup guy?
Ketchup.
Okay.
Either, but I
would
prefer ketchup.
Me too. Okay.
Yep. Number 2, humidifiers. This time of year, especially.
This time of year, definitely underrated. You get
you wake up, you got
dry
the fucking
air.
dry. Everything's dried out. Like if you have baseboard heat or
right,
everything's just so dry it fucks you up.
You don't realize how important they can be until you don't have one and you're sick this time of year.
Yeah. Yep.
So underrated.
Number 3, straws.
Underrated.
Highly underrated. And I'm going to go one step further. McDonald's has paper straws now.
Hate them. The worst.
Hate paper straws.
3 minutes into a drink, that fucking thing is limper than a fucking 89-year-old guy's dick.
Yeah, it is fucking terrible. They like fragment apart.
They alter the taste, and it's a bad experience.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would go to a paper straw.
No.
And here's another thing, just a straw in general. You go to a diner, you think how many people's mouths have been on that cup?
How many people lip the fuck out of that thing?
Same thing with forks. Like if you really thought about,
it's gross.
You're like, oh my god, you know how many bums have eaten off this fork?
This thing was stuck behind the dishwasher for 4 months, laying in rat shit.
Yeah.
And they found it and threw it in. Now you're using it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with you.
Yeah. You know how many people right now are going out and getting their own cutlery set to bring with them? And the glass straws everywhere to go.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Number 4, Q-tips.
Underrated. Again, I think if you read the box, we all use them for the purpose they're not intended for.
How else are you going to clean your fucking ear?
That's what I'm saying. What else are you going to use? A pen cap?
What do? Just wait and then let the doctor just pull it out of there like corn? Fucking
You use those ear candles that don't work?
Yeah.
No, they're totally underrated.
All right, and number 5, TV remote.
Oh my god, are they underrated?
Is that not one of the most underrated of all underrated?
Especially now, if you have a smart TV.
Because a lot of TVs don't turn on without them.
Exactly. The TV I bought on Black Friday, can't find the remote. It's a Fire remote. So I'm like, fuck. I download the Fire remote app. There's not a power button on it. You still need the power button on the original remote to turn the TV on.
Oh my god.
So basically had to strip the bed to find the remote that was in the covers. Thank God. And I did locate the power button on the TV.
Well, have you ever been laying in bed at night and you want to turn the TV off and go to sleep and you're like, where the fuck did that remote? Where'd it go? You're trying to blank it.
Fuck it and just went to bed.
Yeah, but it's somewhere in that vicinity.
It is.
And you're like, where is this fucking remote? Like, I'm up next to the TV. I could change the channel, but I'd rather find a remote so I can sit back down and turn it up.
And do it myself. Exactly.
And when we were kids in the 80s, I was the fucking remote. Hey, go change that channel. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click.
I want to say my grandparents and my parents too. The first VCRs we ever had were corded remotes.
Yes,
they were a pain.
It looked like a paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Yep.
Totally. All right, I got my 5 for you.
Oh, you got over under?
I do.
Okay.
Number 1, non-traditional pizzas.
Like Elios or something like that.
No, like if you go to the pizza place and they have
you get a Hawaiian pizza.
Well, what brought this up is there's a place down in Highland called Pizza Mia.
Yep.
And they have a ravioli with vodka sauce pizza.
Okay.
Like
I've had a Big Mac pizza. Yeah, underrated.
Okay.
Underrated.
All right. Number 2, because it's next weekend, the Royal Rumble. Or 2 weeks. 2 weeks away.
Highly underrated.
My favorite pay-per-view by far.
Easy. You always get a surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't like when they did the girls and the guys.
They're still doing it, but
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, or do the girls on Saturday night if that's how they're going to do it. Then
yeah.
So, but I always thought that was one of the best pay per views out there because you never knew what you were going to get,
Exactly.
and it kind of sets up the rest of the season, the WrestleMania season.
It does. It kicks it off in the right way.
Yep.
Number 3, Belgian waffles.
Overrated.
Really?
I'm not. I rather have Eggos than waffles from a diner.
Okay. Any reason why?
They're just too soft and fluffy. Like
okay.
I don't. I'm not a big pancake guy either. You know that.
Right.
I'd rather have French toast than anything. And if I was going to have a waffle, which I like waffles, but I like Eggos.
So you want them
crispy? They're crispier.
Okay.
Smaller. I don't like this big thing with all kinds of fruit on it. Is it a dessert or is it a breakfast?
What is this?
Yeah. What is this?
Number 4, Nutella.
Overrated. I never really use it, so overrated.
All right. And number 5, 80s style boom boxes / ghetto blasters.
Underrated. The capacity of which they burn through D batteries, fucking overrated. But they were phenomenal to just have.
They were.
The new way they do it is kind of like you've seen Boston has when he carries a speaker around and he just hooks his phone to it.
Yeah. Those bump boxes.
Yeah.
Look awesome because they look like the traditional ghetto blaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That was it, man. How many times did you see somebody walk around with one of them on their shoulder?
Do you remember your first one?
Yeah. Yep. I won it at
really?
School. Yep. I won it at school.
Mine was because when my father worked and grandmother worked at Frox Cube, they did everything for Philips Magnavox and they became Philips. So they had a company store. And I remember the first one I got was about yay long and yay high, and it had a CD. It was the first CD player I ever had.
Yep.
So yeah, way underrated. Big things to take to the beach.
Yeah.
To the ballpark, to a picnic.
Yeah. It's something that people still do to this day. They put the AM radio on when they're at the baseball game so they can hear the announcers to the game.
Absolutely.
Because you're getting the shit that you're not seeing. Like you can watch it, but you're not getting all the behind the scenes stuff that's going on. Like, oh, hey, that guy, he went down in the dugout. Now he's down in the tunnel because he's hurt. We're going to get a pinch hitter here.
Now, and you know what's going on.
You would have never known that if you weren't listening to the game. Yeah.
Did you ever keep score at a game?
Yes.
Me too.
Yep.
I thought it was cool.
Where you'd get the program and they had today's lineup and you would have to.
Right. Until the fucking team bats around.
Yeah, and you're trying to figure it out.
Fuck it. 4 innings later.
Or you just got bored of keeping score.
Yeah.
Balls and strikes and this and that. Yeah. No, it was cool.
All right. It
was a good over-under.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to... I think we kind of got rid of this... Oh, well, let's see. It's the rabbit hole. It's just a little tune there. It doesn't say anything. We used to have them all in crazy rabbit hole, but you had a rabbit hole you wanted to touch on, so
I did. 2, in fact. One, the main one, why I wanted to talk about it, stuck out to me. Really cool on TikTok. A woman by the name of Stephanie Ferret.
Okay.
Her TikToks are her in the kitchen, and you can hear her kid, who's clearly videotaping it.
Right.
Hey, Mom, sing, and names a song. This woman belts out Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Boyz II
in a
Men,
regular kitchen.
Christina Aguilera. Yeah, as she's cooking.
Right. But I'm saying there's no like special acoustic.
No, there's
special
nothing.
It's
she's
just
in the house.
her singing while she's cooking dinner.
Right. To the point where Boyz II Men found, I don't know if she's saying End of the Road or one of their songs, they went on the thing and tagged it and made a comment, thank you, this made our day. Celine Dion did the same thing. America's Got Talent tagged her, said you better be signing up.
Right.
And Caught Wildfire, like all of her things now have millions and millions of views. She was a studio singer for Disney years and years and years ago. Before she had her kids, she got married. She's like, it's time to be a stay-at-home mom. and thought that portion of her life was over. And through TikTok and through just singing for her kids, has completely like flipped her life upside down.
Well, look at what it did for Joey and Bray.
Right.
They released a song and 3 million people hit on it. And
Right.
Like, whoa.
But to go from video to video and listen to this woman sing, there's not a song she can't sing. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, you told me about her earlier in the week. I checked out a couple of them. I'm like, Jesus, she really is.
Can belt.
And while she's like cutting stuff up,
Yeah.
she's singing, yeah.
Yeah, she was making cheeseburger sliders. And actually, somebody commented on the song, and then she went back and she's like, "Oh, thank you. Oh, and here's the recipe for the sliders." That's a funny thing. Well, she did an interview in her car, and just to thank the fans and everything. But it's awesome. That's the cool side of social media.
Yes.
The cool side of TikTok and things like that, because the average person
to bring talent to people that you otherwise wouldn't have ever seen it.
had never seen it.
Right.
So I thought that was awesome. And secondly, the passing of Lisa Marie. I was home, and within 2 or 3 minutes, you, Christina, and it was on the phone.
Jimmy Williams?
And Jimmy Williams all texted me to tell me she had passed. I didn't even know she'd had the heart attack. And they kept it real quiet.
Yeah.
And then I went on TikTok, and I saw a video of her 2 nights before at the Golden Globes with Austin Butler and Jerry Schilling, who was one of Elvis's Memphis Mafia, who now kind of helps oversee Elvis Presley Enterprises. And she's talking, and she like stumbles, and she's like, "Can't Jerry, hold me up, or let me hang on to you." I guess there was definitely something wrong going on from then.
Yeah.
The next day, she had the heart attack. They had to call the house. They put her in a medically induced coma. And that was it.
And that was it.
But if you go on YouTube, she did a few duets with her father that were awesome. She did "Don't Cry Daddy." She did "In the Ghetto." Then she did one that I didn't.
How'd she do them with him?
His audio track.
Oh, and she just...
And then, she would come in, they would cut his vocals out of her verse, or she would sing in unison with him, which were cool. But then there was a gospel song that I hadn't seen before that was awesome, that I think I might even put on my YouTube, on my Facebook, and went back to her original CD, which came out like 2003, and her hit song "Lights Out." It's prophetic, man. It says, she talks about her family being buried in her back, and I'll be buried in my own backyard, and that's where she's going to be buried, next to her son and her father at Graceland. So
now, if Elvis was really that old preacher guy that everybody says it is, he'd be all busted up right now.
Right.
Don't forget, now she gets to go see her ex-husband too.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson.
That's right. Yeah, it's funny. She's had 4 marriages, 4 kids, 3 girls who are all doing well. Her son sadly committed suicide a couple of years ago, and that's why I said it's now with her. She owned 15% of everything that was related. Now her daughter's got it all. So hopefully they continue with having Graceland as a touring spot, or if not, because they can just say, fuck it, shut it down.
Oh, dude, you better get there before all that happens.
Yeah, I think it makes too much money yearly for them to ever.
Well, it generates probably generational wealth.
Right. And it's such a fine old machine now with everything they do in January and August. But
I'm willing to bet there's very few days that there's not like substantial amounts of people going there.
Right. And every day, and this is why I started looking into it hard now. If you get there from 7 a.m. to 9:30 in the morning, you can walk up the driveway to the graves yourself and pay your respects. And then 9:30 it shuts down, closes, and then 10 o'clock it opens as the attraction. So, got to get there.
And before 9:30 in the morning, not at 9:30.
Yeah.
Get there like 8,
6.
so you have time.
6.
Yeah, 6. Camp out. Yeah.
One day I do everything early in my life, but
yeah,
I got to get there, and it was man, crazy week.
Yeah. Since we've been off the air, you figure the thing happened with Damar Hamlin.
Right.
Now her.
Yep.
I saw a study that came out, and I don't know if I forwarded this to you. Like, I forward you a lot of stuff just because it can create topics for us to talk about here, right? They've been following like sudden cardio, whatever the term is, where it's your heart just suddenly stops like that.
Yeah.
For like 38 years. And on average, in athletes, it was 29 athletes a year had that happen.
Really?
Right? To 2021.
Wow.
Since 2021, 1,600 athletes have had it happen. So from 2021 to 2022, that year, all 21, all 22. So really, it's like 2 years.
Yeah.
1,600 people had it happen. The prior 38 years didn't have 1,600 people have it happen.
What in the hell's going on?
What? Everybody got the jab.
Wow.
And they were like, think about it. Why now? Because like sports world was kind of closed off in 2020.
Right.
2021, they're saying it's got to be a direct link. And it's a doctor, and she's like, listen, I didn't even want to believe this. I'm a doctor. I believe in vaccines and this and that. And she said, she's like, but if I didn't ask the question, like, how is it that 1,600 people since 2021, 1,600 athletes, and that could be from children all the way to professional athletes.
Sure.
When the prior 38 years, you didn't have 1,600 people.
Right.
Something had to have happened from this point, and there's only one thing everybody's looking at.
The only other 2 events that I can recall of pro athletes, and the one I didn't realize until Ruben posted something, and it was a link to Corey Stringer's foundation.
Yeah.
He was the one that died from it. And Scott Coolbaugh was a former professional baseball player. He was a third baseman. He was the third base coach for the Rockies AAA team. Took a line drive to the chest and died.
Yes. I remember like a younger little league kid took a line drive to the chest.
Yes, I do remember that. But outside of those incidents...
Right, but that was like an impact type thing too at exact time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where they're starting to say like soccer players, because soccer and basketball is the 2 biggest.
Wow.
Where people are having a lot of problems because they're constant running.
Right.
And they're just dropping.
That's crazy.
And I'll have to go back and look, and I'll send you. And they got them listed, and it's just rolling: soccer, basketball, soccer.
That's insane. Where
boom, you're just having these cardiac, just boom, done.
I mean, I could say with soccer, basketball, like I said, it makes sense. These guys are sprinting up and down this giant field,
right?
And now somebody takes the soccer ball, which is kicked at 110 miles an hour, to the chest and they drop, or a basketball player takes an elbow.
Or just running and drop.
Just running and drop. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy.
And they're supposed to be the highest of high-level athletes.
Right.
Boom. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy that happened. But, I mean, and then a lot of people said this thing with Lisa Marie, she just had a booster shot.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true or not, because you know how that side of social media works. But if it is true, when are people going to start looking at this stuff and say, come on, man, what is going on? What did we do to ourselves? What did we put in our bodies?
Right.
Like I heard you say with your own mouth that you haven't been right since you.
I have not. Since I had COVID and had the booster shot, my lung capacity is not what it was.
Right. Listen, like I understand we're not in shape, guys.
Right.
But I never did the booster. You did.
Right.
And you've been vaccinated and you've gotten fucking COVID. You know, there's people that haven't been vaccinated and didn't get it.
Now I just had it. I didn't even have COVID this last time. I had strep.
Right.
And I needed a steroid and an inhaler to get rid of the shit that was in my lungs.
Right.
It wasn't even COVID.
Right.
So God forbid what happens if I get COVID again.
Right. And then, they're going to tell you, oh, here you go. Take this booster. Well, I've taken your boosters and I keep getting it. So,
right.
It just turns into one of them deals.
It does. You did send me, I was looking at some of the stuff you sent on TikTok last night. The Rock and Roll Express one.
Yeah.
But the Triple H roasting Shawn Michaels was hysterical.
Yeah.
You're talking about his googly eye.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. That again, that's the fun light side of social media. But I think you are spot on when your prediction for the year is it's going to turn.
I think people are already starting to.
Yeah.
Like people just said, yeah, I'm good with Twitter.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, me included, like I could care less about Facebook.
Yeah.
I go on Facebook right now mostly to see what my memories were from years past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or we're putting stuff on.
And only for our
and we're
reason.
putting stuff on for
I'm
our
saying,
page.
like, for my personal stuff,
Right.
I don't really go on.
Right.
To put on stuff for our page, share stuff for our page,
Yeah.
and whatnot. That's it.
That's it.
One last thing we should definitely touch before we jump off. Plans for the Super Bowl party are coming along.
They are.
We got some cool gadgets and gifts lined up, and we're getting some more together.
Yep.
So it's coming along nicely. We still got it. We got to promote the hell out of it in the next week or two.
Yeah. Again, Facebook, the good thing. Put out the invites and got a lot of responses. So
yeah,
I like to see as many as we had last year, if not more.
Oh, way more. And I want the listen, we got this part, the camera part, figured out.
Right.
I want the touchdown dance off on live stream.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's going to all be on live stream, but where like people are going to be voting for who wins.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You know,
that's going to be cool.
We'll have a live countdown and then everything going there.
Yep. No, I'm psyched, man. It's going to be, for those who haven't seen it on Facebook, but you guys listen to the show, it's going to be the night before the Super Bowl, February 11th, 6 to 9, Buffalo Wild Wings in Kingston, New York. If you're in the area or you're drivable distance, come on out. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah, and I mean, we got a new speaker set up this year, so that should hopefully work.
Yep.
If the wires are really long, I think we should put one speaker more down halfway and one near us.
Right. Which check when he needs duct tape.
Yeah.
Just to cover that wire that's going to be running across the rug at that point.
Yeah. Well, we've done it before.
We have.
I'll get a couple rolls of the black duct tape there so it just blends in with the carpet or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's all cleared through the boss down there, right?
Yeah, she was good to go.
Good. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, man, this was a fun episode. It motored on through.
It did. At one point, we were like a half hour and halfway through all the shit, and then the last back half, we had a lot more conversation.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that was the excitement of getting going again.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I said, the time off is nice, but the longer the time off is, the more you're anxious to get back doing it.
What I noticed is I started this episode way above this mic, and I've kind of just settled into my chair. And it's not like the chair's going down; it's me kind of scooching and getting like into this relaxing.
Yeah,
yeah. Because I started like up here all serious, and then I ended up way back down in the chair.
Yeah. One last thing before we go off, since it's super wild card weekend and not too many games have been played yet or completed, any early forecasts?
I mean, I think the favorites are going to be around, kind of. I don't know, man. Kansas City's tough. I think the NFC is wide open.
What could be said about both, really?
You know what I mean? Kansas City's tough, but I think the NFC is wide open.
After what Trevor Lawrence did last night,
yeah,
I can't discount anybody, really. But like I said, it's funny. He said, could have scripted it any better. Well, was it a script? Was it not? Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
No, I'm good, man. We'll see. Next week we'll have a better understanding of, my team's season will probably be over. Yours is over this week. Mine will be next week, I think.
Way over. But yeah, we'll see where it goes.
All right, buddy, take us home.
All right, for Gmac, this is Winnie. This has been episode 1 of season 4 of the Outlaw Blitz podcast, and as always, take it easy.